Hey, it's Samuel here, and I just wanted to share with you something that happened a couple of weeks ago, what started, and I feel like it's a game changer in the way, it sounds a bit corny, but it's, I just feel like it's a profound and practical way of bringing darkness to the light, and I just wanted to share the story with you. Okay, I'm sitting outside, but I'm getting bitten by mosquitoes and flies like hell, so I'm gonna go back inside. So at the end of this video, I'm going to take you through the practice of this bringing the darkness to the light. So this big breakthrough and realization and practical way of bringing darkness to the light and to kind of invoke the miracle in a way. Because you always think like you're bringing the miracle to the world, or you're bringing the miracle to your mind and blessing the world through the miracle, through this state that you're absorbing, and then everything's being blessed through it because you're realizing it's part of you. But how can you practically do that? And I've always wondered, is there a way of like a technique or a practice? And this is what I've stumbled upon that, or been shown recently. So it started 2 weeks ago. I was doing lesson 142, my mind holds only what I think with God. And for the first 5 minutes, you focus on the idea that my mind holds only what I think with God. As I was doing that, an ego thought came up and it absorbed me. I was completely absorbed into the thought. But somehow at this moment, I knew that this thought was just a thought. And suddenly it became a brownish, murky, like puddle brown color. And then as I remembered the lesson, my mind holds only what I think with God, it was pushed out and to the left. And as it was, as I observed it to the left, I could see to the right that there was the light, which was symbolic of a ball. So on the left, we've got this puddle-like 2D weird energy, felt kind of strange, low, not good as I felt it. And then on the right, there is this light representing heaven and the Holy Instant and the Holy Spirit. And I could feel it. Felt good. It felt light. It felt easy. And then I practiced. Then I remember the two lessons. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. And let me remember I am one with God. And as I said those lessons, the light glowed more, like it was pulsing, like expanding and pulsing. And as it did, the ego thought was automatically brought closer as I held both ideas in my mind. And it felt like a quickening of the two ideas. So the idea of my mind holds only what I think with God was like holding the light there. And then the two thoughts that underneath it were bringing it closer into my mind, or in a more energetic, more expansive way. And so the ego thought then came closer, and it was like they touched, and then it dissolved into it. The more I focused on my mind holds only what I think with God, and it felt like there was a quickening process, and it just moved in, and then it disappeared. And then I couldn't remember the ego thought, and there was no brown thought, and I was just sitting there in presence and this peace. And for the rest, and the day went on, and I got on with things. I was doing lots of things, and I didn't think anything of it at first, but it just stuck at the back of my mind that this feels like a powerful method of bringing the darkness to the light. And so some days went by, 10 days went by, and then recently Keith Kavanagh released his video on Sunday, and I listened to it, and I felt he was coming back to this state of, or to this idea of, what has that got to do with me, this practice he's talking about, like this thought, what has it got to, and I felt like that was the same thing that I was doing. I'd step back in this experience to the observer state, watching as the ego thought was being brought to the light by focusing on the light, and I felt like it was even an extension of what he was saying, because my thought is, okay, yeah, you can be in the cinema with Jesus, but how do you stay there? And how do you bring the darkness to the light? It's always been something on my mind recently. How do you do that? Like, how do you practically do it? Because yeah, you can say the words and do so, like think about it, but how do you represent that in a practical way that you could use on a daily basis? And it feels like this is it. This is like a way to do that. I noticed after I watched his video and what he talked about that day, all I was doing was just I was actually quite sick. I woke up and I couldn't focus. My energy was low. I didn't feel good. The last 3 days I've not been feeling great. And so I decided I'm not going to do anything today. All I'm going to do, and the thing that came to mind was all I'm going to do all day is practice being in awareness. Just bring every ego thought to this practice of dissolving, and it was just felt like a lot of work, but it felt so useful. By the end of the day, I felt quite elated, and I felt like even with body thoughts, because with body thoughts I found that it was more difficult to allow them to go out because they're so present with the experience. I actually, instead of just stepping back, it's like stepping back and down, almost out and down, because there is one lesson that talks about, and he talks about it in this Sunday session, about how dropping below the thoughts of the world, and it felt like that, dropping below the thoughts of the world. And so I did that as well. So the whole day I'm practicing stepping back, dropping down, and bringing all the ego thoughts to this light. And by the end of the day I'm feeling quite peaceful and elated, even though all these body symptoms and everything seems to be coming up in terms of body ideas and like memories of the past and things that, guilt thoughts, whatever. So yeah, let me take you through this practice now, and let's go into it and feel it. And then I would love for you to tell me your experience in the comments and join me in the subscription. There'll be a video at the end, and watch a video of this process. I'm making currently a video of this whole process and many more like it to teach you this practical way of bringing darkness to the light. So, okay, let's sit down. So yeah, let's do the practice now. Let me take you through it. I'm going to sit down. So settling down now, stepping back from the world, letting everything be exactly as it is, every sensation, every thought, every circumstance. We're just allowing, resting, letting everything be, letting the breath come in and go out. You may even want to take a deeper breath than normal. Letting your mind rest. And becoming the observer. So whatever thought comes into your mind next, we're just going to step back from it. Like you're literally taking a literal 2 steps back in your mind, and then just being aware how it feels, sensations, how it looks, is there a color? Being aware of the desire to be part of that thought. Being aware of any desire of that thought being us. Noticing the attachment to identification. and bringing in the thought, my mind holds only what I think with God. My mind holds only what I think with God, and I am as God created me. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. Now, if you can, see yourself, see the thought, notice where you are in space, but step back in this place of the observer, and noticing the ego thought, which still might feel like it's attached to you, is off to the left, and now in front of you. And a glowing white light representing your highest self, your holy self, Holy Spirit, and the miracle. And the remembrance that you are one with God, saying to yourself, let me remember I am one with God. Let me remember I am one with God, letting that light come forward. Let me remember I am one with God. I am as God created me. I am as God created me. Now thinking about the thought that just came to mind, seeing them side by side. Feeling the thoughts, the ego thoughts, bring it in, feeling how it feels, seeing it, still as the observer. Sometimes we have to keep stepping back into that observer space. Remembering the light. I am as God created me. Noticing the light pulsing, expanding. I am as God created me. He created me whole and complete, loved, enjoy forever. Now let the ego thought dissolve into the light. Remembering what you are is whole and complete, unchanging, unchangeable, forever loved, forever in peace, forever perfect. You are as God created you. And I thank my Father for my creation in light, in perfect peace, in wholeness. I thank my Father for his gifts to me. Allowing yourself to be bathed in the light, the presence. Maybe you felt a shift, the energy, just old thought dissolved into the light. Thank you. In a few moments, I'm going to come back into the room, to the seeming room, bringing this state of I am one with God. Bring it back into the rest of your day, remembering you are the observer. You are the light. You are the wholeness. And as you come back out, I'd love to hear, write a comment, tell me how this felt. Did it produce, did it dissolve the ego thoughts? And if it didn't, please tell me, tell me your experience, your honest experience. And I would love for you to join the membership, which, yeah, there'll be a video, there'll be a join link in the description or a join button somewhere on this page. And I made a practice for this as well, for a longer practice, maybe 6-10 minutes long or longer, they'll be here. I hope this was helpful, and thank you.